You know, some folks say Arizona's just dust and cactus and too much damn sun. But I'll tell you, out here, a man can still carve out a little piece of quiet for himself, if he's lucky or stubborn enough. That's how I ended up on 10 acres of raw desert, just me and Max, my old German shepherd, and a coffee mug that says world's okayest landowner. My place butts up against Whispering Ridge Estates, a name so pretentious it ought to come with a side of caviar and a lecture on lawn care. I don't mind neighbors, don't get me wrong. But I like my distance. That's why my grandfather picked this land back in the 70s, long before HOAs sprouted up like dollar store weeds, so we could live sovereign, no boards, no dues, just sky. He built a fence, posted big signs, private property not subject to HOA governance. The signs are faded, but the line is the same. This land's ours, and no self-important committee can say otherwise. Now, every so often I'd see a tire track too close to the boundary or find a candy wrapper where it shouldn't be, but nothing I couldn't shake off. Until one morning, just after sunrise, sky all orange and purple air still cool enough to feel alive, I hear an engine on the gravel road. Max's ears shoot up first like radar. I look, and there it is, a white SUV HOA logo in baby blue pulls up, and 3 folks hop out. Khaki uniforms, body cams, radios. If cosplay mall cop was a job, these folks nailed the interview. The woman's in charge. She comes at me with that ma'am at Target Returns desk energy, bossy, but polite enough to pass for legal. Sir, we need to see your identification. I just blink at her. Ma'am, you're on my property, not the other way around. The guy with her's already scribbling in a notepad. The third's filming like he's about to drop the hottest HOA TikTok of the year. She runs down a list, boundary violations, hunting, trespassing on HOA land, blah, blah, blah. Tells me I'm required to provide ID for documentation. I just stare her down. First off, this is my land. Second, you ain't law enforcement, and you don't get a damn thing from me. She looks at her crew, gives the nod, and suddenly I'm looking at a pair of zip-tie cuffs like I'm about to be frog marched to the clubhouse for a debrief. They try to box me in one behind one up front, but I'm not budging. You touch me and I'll bury you in paperwork so deep you'll need a search party to find your pensions. That's when I click my own body cam on red light blinking just to make sure everybody's playing nice. They hesitate, glancing at each other. I step back, tap the iron sign on the gate. Private property, not subject to HOA governance, registered since 1974. Check your maps, or better yet, just leave. Instead, they stand their ground, so I do what any reasonable person would. I call 911. While I'm explaining to the dispatcher about the cosplay patrol trying to detain me on my own land, one of them lunges for my phone. Max lunges for him and chaos erupts. It's a mess. Shoving elbows, Max barking his head off. And just as things are about to get ugly, here comes a real sheriff's cruiser. Deputy steps out, mid-40s, mustached, got the kind of patience you only earn from 2 decades in rural Arizona law enforcement. What the hell is going on here, he says. The HOA trio all start talking at once. He quiets them with a finger. You live here, he asks me. Yes, sir. Randall Jones. I called. The woman butts in, claims I refuse to identify myself while trespassing on their jurisdiction. He squints at her. Are you a peace officer? She flinches. Community patrol appointed by the HOA board. So, no, not police. He eyes the zip-tie cuffs. You tried to cuff him. She says I was non-compliant. I pipe up. I have surveillance footage from the driveway, the gate, the north fence. Plus, this guy grabbed my phone during a 911 call. That's theft, at least. Deputy separates us, takes statements, flips through my paperwork. Deed County plat from 74. Everything in order. You a lawyer, he asks. Used to be a court officer, I say. Bailiff, judicial assistant, part-time bounty recovery. Deputy turns to the HOA folks. Got any paperwork proving this man's under your jurisdiction? She hands him a folder, crudely printed map, a typed statement signed by Karen Mandel, HOA president. He flips through it. This is a boundary expansion proposal, not a legal annexation, not county stamped, not official. She starts to argue about soft enforcement, but he shuts her down. You can't detain people on land that isn't yours because you wish it was. By now, their whole story's unraveling. One of them mumbles about Karen not filing paperwork. The deputy calls for backup, takes the USB with my footage, and finally sends the patrol packing, warns them that next time it'll get criminal. As they drive off, I catch the woman on the radio. Karen's not gonna like this. Yeah, I bet. 2 days later, envelope in my mailbox, summons to attend an HOA board meeting to resolve jurisdictional misunderstandings. Tones syrupy phrasing, fake polite like they're inviting me to Thanksgiving dinner. I decide, hell, why not? Better to hear the nonsense firsthand. Their clubhouse is cold, over-air-conditioned, full of lemon cleaner and fear. Soon as I step in, it's like walking into a church in a Metallica t-shirt. There's Karen herself at the end, platinum bun navy blazer posture like a ruler. She smiles the way a wolf checks out a sheep. "You must be Mr. Jones," she says, hand out. "I'm Karen Mandel, president of Whispering Ridge Estates HOA. I nod. "Pleasure. I see they forgot to mention I'm not part of Whispering Ridge." "Oh, but that's precisely why you're here," she says, motioning to a chair. "We've recently undergone a perimeter realignment. Parts of your land fall within our ecological buffer zone. That makes your property subject to limited oversight." I cut her off. "Unless you signed my grandfather onto your HOA back in '74, you got no claim." Her smile hardens. She tries the authority card, says the board vote was unanimous. "Funny," I reply because I checked county records. "Last HOA election was 5 years ago, and your name ain't on anything." That rattles her. "Those records are outdated," she snaps. "I was appointed interim president." I stop her again. "I talked to the last president. He said you locked everyone out, declared yourself queen. Nobody voted for you." The room goes dead quiet. One board member drops his pen. Karen's voice drops cold. "I don't appreciate being slandered, and I don't appreciate your rent-a-cops trying to arrest me on my own land," I shoot back. She stands up fast, says her patrol was within their rights. I tell her the sheriff disagrees. That stings. Suddenly the board's squirming, her controls cracking. "Resistance to HOA oversight will only make this more difficult for you," she hisses. "Compliance ensures harmony." I grin, "Lady, I live alone on 10 acres. If it gets any more harmonious, I'll go deaf." Somebody snorts. She glares. I stand up. "You got nothing. You got no jurisdiction. And judging by election records, not even a legit title." "This isn't over," she warns. "Never is," I say, and walk out. After that, things get weird. A neighbor, Claire, calls Randall, "You seen Facebook? There's a group warning parents about you and Max, saying you're hunting illegally, endangering wildlife." My face is posted everywhere, along with Max's aggressive dog, they call him. There's even a drone shot of my backyard with the caption, "Unauthorized burn site observed." Classic Karen, try to control the narrative, smear campaign, lies on lies. I don't get mad, I get even. That night I set up a dummy and camo and elk decoy trail cams everywhere. Next morning, drone buzzes my property low and slow. By noon, more post-suspicious activity at Jones's place. But they slip up. The drone's serial number is visible. Registry shows it belongs to David Mandel, Karen's husband. FAA permit commercial, which means surveillance op paid for. I call my friend Jasper, a retired PI, and my lawyer. In 2 days, Jasper's got a folder of emails Karen telling David to capture violations at my place. Meanwhile, I upload my footage, drone dummies, coyote sniffing a foam, elk Max, chilling like a Buddha, to a YouTube channel I called Sovereign Acre Fighting HOA Tyranny. 12,000 views overnight. Even local news picks it up. Karen's HOA empire is suddenly the punchline. But Karen's got another card to play. Soon I get a call from the county zoning office, Trina Mallister official as they come. "Mr. Jones, we've received a grievance from Whispering Ridge alleging your land is an unmanaged ecological risk. They're pushing for emergency review, maybe even annexation." I march straight to the zoning office with every deed plat and notarized survey I own. Show 'em my receipts, USB full of evidence, plus sworn statements from neighbors saying their signatures were forged on petitions. Zoning folks are stunned, especially after they find one supporter died 2 years ago, another moved to Oregon. My lawyer files a cease and desist. Karen suddenly withdraws the annexation, claims it's pending further community discussion. Good faith, my ass. I film Walt, my old-timer neighbor, as he laughs about his faked signature. Post the video, subscribers triple, other landowners start sending me their own HOA horror stories. But Karen, she's not done. She sends a new squad, fresh uniforms, new body cams, same zip-tie cuffs. Another standoff, another fight. This time Max gets involved. I end up bleeding, but the sheriffs come separate us. And this time the investigation goes up a level. Now we're talking criminal impersonation, annexation fraud, false documents, conspiracy. My lawyer, Ray, files a civil suit, every bit of evidence included from drone logs to Walt's testimony. The video goes viral. Local news picks it up, and suddenly other Whispering Ridge residents start coming forward. Turns out Karen's been ruling by fear fines for bird feeders' threats over porch paint fences torn down. The county rejects the annexation, the HOA's under audit, and Karen, well, the sheriff says she's looking at felony charges. Karen's defense crumbles when leaked audio hits the web, her voice saying, "If he's that close to our fence, we'll make it ours. I've already got the patrol lined up, 100,000 views in a week." By the end of the month, I'm on the local morning show talking about property rights and standing your ground. Karen goes to trial, fraud, impersonation, tampering with legal filings, all of it. Jury takes less than 3 hours. Guilty on all counts. 7 years in state prison. HOA dissolved, class action settled for $2 million. My share, $420,000, which I spent on a steel fence, new cameras, and a plaque for Max Site Defender. But I didn't stop there. Started an anti-HOA defense fund, built a website, took on more cases. Folks donated, sent stories, lawyers offered pro bono help. Whispering Ridge became a ghost town sign, peeled off the gate lawns, gone to hell. Sometimes I'll walk with Max along the old creek, watch the sun come up over rusted fence posts. Kids bike past and whisper, "Hey, isn't that the guy who sued the HOA and won?" I just smile, and Max barks once, like he knows out here justice is still possible as long as you're stubborn enough to fight for it.